Hey y'all, it's Jay here from Jay's Decor and Restore. It's game time. Actually, it's not. It's the middle of July and football probably won't start for another month or so. But any ideas as to what my next theme is going to be for my next project? It's going to be a football theme. And I am going to turn another spool cable into a beautiful patio table with a Dallas Cowboy theme. I have a surprise as to what I have plans for the bar stool. So let's get on out to the garage and get started. So before getting started, I wanted to give you a closer look to the actual cable spool. It's all solid wood this time, and it's in really, really good shape. It's just going to need some cleaning and some prepping before I get started. So my first step is going to be to waterproof the bottom of the spool with the sealant, and then I've added rollers so that the spool won't be sitting directly on the ground, so that I can prevent it from rotting from the bottom. After waterproofing the entire spool, I waited about 2 hours to go ahead and start painting. A roller is actually, I find, the easiest way to cover such a large surface. And if you see those, you'll see those dark printed areas. The paint's going to cover that up no problem, so you don't have to worry about those areas. You'll see that there are some hard to reach places with the roller, so I'm going to continue using the roller for now, and then I'll move to a brush to cover those hard to reach places. And you can see how the brush gets into all those little cracks and crevices much easier than a roller. I painted with the first coat, I realized that the blue wasn't dark enough. It's not the navy blue that's currently on the Dallas Cowboy jersey. So I decided I was going to start mixing some paint into that navy blue, and I decided to mix some black paint to try and achieve that darker navy blue color. Now, when you're mixing paint, make sure that you're going to mix enough so that you have the same hue for your entire project. If you try to achieve it later and you're not sure how much you mixed, you might not achieve that same color. Make sure that you put the lid back on and shake it really well before you start painting again to make sure that those colors have blended. So before flipping the table over, I wanted you to see the final color. I'm really happy with the blue. Now it's time to start painting the top. I start painting the top, I need to clean the hardware. It's very rusty, and I have used vinegar in the past, but in this case, rather than take the hardware out, I'm going to use baking soda. I let it soak for about 2 hours, and then I use a wire brush to scrape it off, scrape off the rust, and just put a little bit of elbow grease in there, and you're going to see how once you're completely done, it's going to be nice and clean. Once I was finished, I went ahead and used my shop vac to get all of the baking soda particles and the rust up from the hardware. It's really hard to get get it clean with a cloth, so a shop vac works really well. So you can see how much cleaner the hardware looks. There's still a little bit of baking soda, so I'm going to clean that up a little bit more, and then we'll move on to the next step. After weatherproofing the top of the table, I went ahead and painted it a metallic silver. I think it's starting to tie in all of the Dallas Cowboy colors. Okay, so I'm ready to paint the first part of the star because there's three stars on for the Dallas Cowboys. You've got the outer layer, which is blue, a second layer, which is white, and then the center layer, again, blue. So I went ahead and I found this star at Joann Fabrics, and it was 60% off, plus I had a 20% coupon because I always buy with coupons. And I attached a picture because it actually had a red tin in the middle, and I went ahead and removed it, and I thought this would be a perfect template for my star. So I went ahead and I already taped it, and I just wanted to show you, what I used. I used, again, frog tape, but this one is a delicate because since I painted this metallic, the regular frog tape, which I usually use, which is green, is very sticky. And then trying to get that off the metallic is pretty difficult. I found that out when I was painting the bar stools. So anyway, this is what I did is I went ahead and I just laid it down and then I outlined it with tape. And so as I take this off, you'll see that we have the outline for the star. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start getting ready to paint it, and I will be back when I have everything ready to start painting. Before getting started, you want to make sure you create that seal around the frog tape. Get a lightly damp cloth and run it along the seams, and then that will also prevent any bleeding and give you those nice crisp clean lines you're looking for. Ta-da! The star is done, and I think it turned out really well. Now let's move on to the bar stools. I found these 6 bar stools on Offer Up and Let Go. I bought them from 3 different sellers, and you can see that they're all different colors. They're all the same style, though. So, in order to save me a step from sanding, I bought this bonding primer, which will adhere the paint to the bar stool and prevent it from peeling. So, I'm going to go ahead and prime them first before I put on my top coat. So I started the process here of painting the legs, and you can see here is the one that I've completed, so you can see what it'll look like after you've primed it. I finished painting all the bar stools, and I think the bonding primer did a fantastic job of adhering that paint and creating a smooth surface. The paint looks just, especially the metallic paint, looks really, really good. I've added a couple of the vinyl jerseys to the top of the bar stool so you can see what they look like. But I do plan to have a separate video to show you how I created those vinyls using my Cricut machine. So watch in the coming weeks for that. Hey y'all, I'm back and it's finally done. I think it turned out really, really well. I really love it. I'm including some pictures of some close-ups of the top, the bar stools, and then the overall, just the entire table put together. So I am so excited for whoever decides they want to purchase this because it will be for sale. So if you live in the San Antonio area and you have a big truck, because you're going to need a big truck, send me a message either on my website or on YouTube here and let me know you're interested and then we can connect. I do custom make these, so if this isn't your team and you're interested in seeing another football team or possibly the San Antonio Spurs, if you live here in San Antonio, again, connect with me and we can chat and see what you have in mind. I appreciate all your support. For those who are subscribers, I really appreciate you coming and watching my videos week after week. And for those who are maybe new to my channel, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I always have different videos, and I'm going to be actually starting a series on the top 10 tools for DIY beginners. So watch out for that. And then finally, I will have a video specifically on the jerseys and how I made those. So stay tuned for that. That should be coming out in about a week. Again, if you support my channel, I appreciate it. Please continue to share and like and subscribe for those who haven't subscribed. And as always, it's time to celebrate. Cheers to you.